now. Okay, it's live right now. Good morning, everybody. And this is another episode of our Young Entrepreneurs Building the Future of Business. And with me, we have quite a few guests today. We have with me Juliana Snyder, who is the co-host for this group. And we have Sara and Zulma. Juliana, why don't you take it over from me, and then Sara can bring in, Zulma can bring in Sara on this.
Okay.
Go ahead, Juliana.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm excited to have you all here today. So Zuma's been on here a couple of times, and this is one of her friends here and good connections. So if you want to introduce her, Zuma, that'd be great.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's such a beautiful day to be here. We actually have something that is quite near and dear to my heart. And I met Sara through it here in Pensacola. And so we've had the chance to work together briefly. And I hope it continues to be the case because Sara leads a very important mission and vision locally, and as we expand and grow it, I know that both NISSI, which is the organization that she leads, will continue to really create not just awareness for the restoration and the ability to help victims of human trafficking, but also to continue on the work. As I mentioned, restoration is such a key component of what NISSI and the project and the community and the hands that are able to be a part of true change. So with that, in that very short introduction, because Sara is a wealth of knowledge and she has so many resources as well as to what NISSI is doing and will continue to do for those that need it, and how to also bring in the community to help accomplish it. So Sara?
Thank you, Zulma. And Zulma has just been a huge blessing to our organization. She has given every ounce of her hard work and work ethic and just sweet spirit to our organization. And it's just been such a light. And we're so thankful to have her as part of the team, as well as her Instagram knowledge, which is not something that I'm super adverse in. So I really appreciate everything that she's taught us and has really helped us in that social media realm. So thank you, Zulma. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to share about what I feel like is the biggest mission we have here on earth. And it's very near and dear to my heart. I have a background in criminal justice. It's my educational background. I worked for the federal government for a few years right after college, and then have been working in anti-trafficking initiatives and efforts for the last 6 years. And so been very thankful for those opportunities that have led me and our team to identify some of the gaps in services that we see when it comes to how trafficking victims seek services and get the help that they need. And chairing our Circuit 1 task force here in the state of Florida, you know, typically when you get the call or a text or an email that there is someone who's in need of services, the go-to thing is to find the quickest, closest available bed somewhere. And it's not always the right environment for the survivor. That's best case scenario. Otherwise, they're given a hotel voucher for a couple days. They may be given a list of resources to contact service providers on their own. But what we have learned and understood about trauma victims is when someone experiences the amount of trauma, especially those, the amount of trauma that those who have been trafficked have experienced, their mental and emotional capacity is often back at the age where their trauma first started. So although we may be talking or trying to help someone who is in their 30s, if their abuse started at age 12 or 13, mentally and emotionally, we're dealing with a 12 or 13-year-old teenage girl, and expect them to seek these services on their own. It's just not substantial. It's not sustainable. And so realizing and having these experiences where we're working with rescuing victims, whether it was a sting operation or a search and rescue, or someone was brought to us in search of services, there was really no immediate place for these survivors to get the help that they needed. Yes, there are safe houses, which are amazing. There's a lot of aftercare programs, which are those long-term 6 months to 2 year programs that are very vital for a survivor, because it does take time to heal and to get the services that you need emotionally, physically. And of course, we definitely believe in the holistic approach spiritually as well. And so what we wanted to do as an organization is the NISSI project, which NISSI stands for Network of Immediate Services for Survivors International, is we wanted to be that place that provided that frontline immediate service to the victim once they're either rescued or identified as a trafficking survivor. And so what we do is we work strategically with law enforcement and healthcare providers to first get medical attention to these survivors, because it could be years that these survivors have endured this trauma without any services. And so there's a lot of physical trauma that needs to be addressed first. And so we have partnerships with some of our hospitals in the area to streamline those services and to do a one-time trauma-informed intake process to where those trauma victims don't have to have continual questioning and interrogation, and that we get the information we need about their situation in a very quick but informative process. And from there, we have a short-term immediate care facility that we will be opening very soon, where the survivors can go up to 7 days to get rest, clarity of mind. If they need to seek detox services, which the majority will, we will be providing those as well. We have some great relationships with some physicians and RNs and detox services that we'll be providing on site, because we have to get these victims to the point where they qualify to go to an aftercare program. And a lot of aftercare programs they don't have the capacity to take people who are currently addicted to substances. And so we want to make sure we set them up for success at these long-term aftercare solutions. And so we will be providing that. We'll be providing a community multidisciplinary response advocacy team that is working law enforcement, community leaders, healthcare, advocacy, the judicial system, working together for that individual to seek what is the best long-term solution for them. And then we access our network of aftercare services to find that. And once we find it, we will present it to the survivor. If they choose to seek those services, we will set them up with everything they need. We have fresh start bags where they'll get a suitcase and be able to fill it with full-size toiletry items and clothing, shoes, journals, whatever it is that they need to start building that ownership back up within them, because for a long time they haven't had ownership of their bodies, of their mind, of what they want to do. A lot of them don't have even ownership of their documentation. So we want to start building up that ownership within them. So we provide all of that for them, and then we will transport them. Now, we know a lot of survivors will not identify as soon as we may identify them as a victim. And so a lot of times that's a lengthy process, and they're not always going to want to seek services right away. So we will then offer them transitional services where we try to meet them where they're at, which is a very big motto within our organization, is we meet people where they're at. We don't judge. We don't try to get them to come to where we believe we're at. We believe that every individual is vulnerable, and we don't have an us and them mentality. It's all of us together trying to make it through life. And so we want to help them where they're at. And so we will be providing transitional services, whether that's transportation to and from the doctor, whether that's trying to get an apartment in a safe environment, security, whatever that may be. And so that's kind of the broad mission of our organization. We believe that this is one of the biggest gaps in services, because if someone has a hand to hold from the time that they're rescued to the time that they arrive at an aftercare solution, that they're going to have a better chance of making it through that program and not giving up or running or throwing in the hat and returning to their trafficker or start exploiting themselves because they feel like they have no other choice. And so we really want to be that solution for them. We want to be that friend for them. And we've got a great team, like people like Zulma, who are all in, and we're seeing amazing doors open. And we've already to date helped 6 survivors this year seek services or get the services that they need. And so we're really excited about what God's going to do through our mission.
That's awesome.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Sarah. You said it's broad, and there was just so much information there, and so much that it's going on in NISSI and in our local community. A couple of things that stuck out to me that I know are very important for the organization is in remaining holistic, because it has to be a holistic approach to integrating the different aspects of what a survivor needs, and also integration of the community, the volunteers. So my question, I'm going to gear it a little bit more into entrepreneurship. The nonprofit sector, how are you able to remain in that mindset of it's about the victims and it's not us and them, is we are one and we're in this together? What can you tell us about the business part of the nonprofit in the sense of sponsorships, and how do you go about bringing the community into that? And I know we just had a great event, so you could tell us about that.
Yeah, no, that's a phenomenal question, Zulma. Thank you so much. And I love entrepreneurship. I love our business community. I actually still currently do public policy for our local chamber. And so it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And so I would say that the biggest thing that we try to communicate to our community, especially our business community, is that a few things. A, human trafficking affects all of us. We're all vulnerable to become potential victims of trafficking. Trafficking knows no barriers. It doesn't care what economic status you have, if you're male or female, if you're 20 or 60. Whoever is in a vulnerable situation where there's vulnerability, there's someone willing to take advantage of that. And so we try to get that across within our community, is that it doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company or you started 5 businesses or you have all of the degrees after your name. It still affects you. And if it hasn't affected you personally, it has affected someone you know. Statistically, we know all of us have been affected within a lifetime by someone who's been trafficked. In most cases, we didn't even know it. And so for us, it's educating businesses on knowing that A, they're vulnerable, knowing how to spot it, both to help someone in that situation, but also to keep their employees and their business safe. Because we want employers to know and entrepreneurs to know those signs, because we don't want them to have a trafficking situation under their nose and they never even knew about it, and then they're legally responsible in some way. So we want them to be safe. We want them to also, we work a lot with manufacturers and supply chains and helping people know where their products and where they're getting the materials to make their product, and whether or not it's come from even a labor trafficking situation. We don't always talk about labor trafficking as much as we do sex trafficking, and for many reasons, but labor trafficking is actually more of an issue in our area than sex trafficking is. And so really focusing in on those agricultural areas and those manufacturing areas, and even the hospitality and service industry where there is labor trafficking happening, and how to help employers know how to recognize that. It's very important, because we want our employers and entrepreneurs to be safe, but we also want them to be able to help other people when they recognize those things. So that's the first thing. The second thing is getting our community to know that you don't have to be involved in this at the point to where you're kicking down doors and pulling children out of trafficking situations. Not everybody's called to the nitty-gritty part of this, but everybody's called to do something, and everybody can do something with the resources and talents and skill sets that they have. So what we tell our volunteers is, you may not have $100,000 to donate. If you do, great. I will give you my cell phone number. We will set up a coffee, and I will tell you all the reasons why you should support our mission financially. But you may have cooking skills where you could cook meals at our respite home. You may have mentoring skills where you can mentor someone after they come back from their aftercare program and they're trying to get integrated back into society. You may have a business that's willing to hire these men and women once they come through the full restoration cycle. So creating partnerships with people with the skill sets and the talents that they have at the level that they're comfortable with. Because again, not everybody has a lot of time and not everybody has a lot of money, but there's things that you can do with really not even thinking about it, you know? And so we want people to realize what those things are, identify them, and then use them to the fullest capacity to help somebody else. And so those are the two key areas that we really strive to pull in our entrepreneurs and our business members and our community as a whole.
That's excellent. What can you say to the community as a whole, especially for us here in Angola? But I mentioned before, the goal is to keep NISSI expanding throughout the United States and global as well, because like you said, trafficking is a problem that affects, or an issue that affects everyone. Particularly, we are focusing on how local businesses can become involved, or the individual too. But what are some ways that young entrepreneurs can see the benefit of being involved with organizations like NISSI?
I think the benefit is no matter what your career choice is, I think social impact is important to all of us. And I think especially with the millennial generation and younger generations, I think that you see that if you don't want to buy a product unless it supports a mission. You don't want to work in an environment that doesn't support a mission. Human trafficking may not be your mission, but whatever your mission is, give to it wholeheartedly, because the benefit is that you're going to feel more of a sense of accomplishment that is not superficial, or it's not temporary. You're going to have that lasting sense of accomplishment throughout your work and your career when you know that what you're doing is impacting an individual's life, saving a life, or making your community a better place for someone else, as well as for yourself. Because when we make our community better for other people, we're making it better for ourselves as well. And so, you know, when you give back, you have that sense of accomplishment that I don't think you get from anywhere else. And so that would be my biggest word of advice to other entrepreneurs who are wanting to be successful in life. You know, there's success, and then you know, there's that sense of accomplishment, and sometimes they're different. You can be successful and not have that accomplishment, but when you feel like you're giving back, I feel like it's something that is worth everything. At least to me. So.
Oh, absolutely. I know that at our Mail Group and Dino and Vision, for us, that's also at the core and center of our mission and values. And so you mentioned mentorship being one of the things that different members in the community can bring help to NISSI and support as well. Are there certain things that NISSI needs right now that we can share with the community that they could specifically focus on?
Yes, absolutely. So many needs. We are a young organization. We currently have a location for our non-disclosed short-term immediate care facility, as well as a downtown office, what we're calling a survivors service center that will be opening on July 30th. We're really excited about that, where that's more of a community front-facing location where people can come and volunteer. They can drop off donations. They can engage with us, but it's also a place where if someone's seeking services and they are not brought to us by law enforcement or a healthcare provider per se, but they need help, they can come to us and get that help. And so we're really excited about that. So there's going to be a lot of ways, especially here locally, where people can volunteer and be involved. But outside of here locally, because we are technically a global organization, we worked in several different countries, Ukraine, Uruguay, Philippines, as well as Cambodia, and then across the United States. And you know, we want people to contact us if they are seeking training or if they have a service that they provide for trafficking victims. Our whole thing is we want to be a network. We want to work with other people in this fight, whatever that puzzle piece is. You know, each of us have, people don't understand. They think, oh, there's all these human trafficking organizations out there. They all do the same thing. And that's not the case. There are so many layers to this fight and so many needs that these survivors have. And we're each trying to address something within this fight. And so for us, it's that short-term immediate care to get them to a safe house or an aftercare program. So for us, we support our safe houses and our aftercare programs and want them to be engaged with us and let us know of their services. So if you're out there and you're watching and you know of someone that provides services to trafficking victims, please reach out to us and let us know. We want to get connected. We want to share our resources as well. So that is a big way. Engage with us on social media or in some of our educational trainings. We're going to be looking to trying to schedule those online trainings where people from all over can log on and get that education that's needed and not have to have someone fly out to them or have to attend in person, but they can get that education that they can watch in their own time and their own convenience. So education is a big need. We want everybody to be informed, but the goal for the short-term immediate care facility that we're starting in this multidisciplinary community response is to create a template that can be replicated in other communities. So if you're watching and you're listening and you're interested and you say, hey, I want to do that, or I want to at least talk to my community members and see if we have the resources to do that, we want to create a template that can be tailored to any community. It's not something we want to keep right here in Pensacola, Florida. We think, and based on our conversations with our national and state partners, that this is the biggest need that is missing. This is the biggest gap that has to be identified or that has to be addressed. And so if we can create a template that works, at least for us, then someone else can take that and alter it to make it work in their community. So that's another way. The other way, of course, is financially. You know, we're fighting $150 billion industry. And so in order to fight that, we're going to have money to fight it. It's expensive. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to help survivors get the resources that they need and to transport them and so forth. So financially is always a way you can give. But there's other ways, like I mentioned, donations, making things, giving up your time. We've got a lot of businesses that will offer mentorship services or internships for when our survivors come out of their restoration cycle and they're getting their apartments and they're trying to apply for jobs, people to help them with the interview process and training them on how to interview for a job and how to get a lease for an apartment and, you know, getting a loan for a car, all those things that, you know, we have to learn as young adults. They're now having that opportunity to learn these things too. So we're always looking for people that will come in and just walk through life with these survivors, because that's what they need. It's a lifelong process. And so, you know, anybody who's interested in any of that, you can definitely reach out to me or one of our team members, team@thenisiproject.org, and we can connect them. And also what we do here at the NISSI Project is any volunteer that we have a one-on-one coffee with them, myself, or a Zoom call where I just get to know them and who they are and what they enjoy doing and what their hobbies are and what their talents are, and then we place them according to that. We don't want to place people and give people things to do that they hate and then get burned out. We want to use people for what they like to do and what they're good at, because then we feel like they'll have that sense of belonging and peace and at-homeness that we want to create in the environment of our organization. And so reach out to us. We'll find something for you to do. Especially this next year, there's going to be a lot getting this off the ground. And so we'll take everybody.
It's very well said, Sara. And we are seeing, and Juliana and I have discussed it many times in the past, is the social responsibility of business. And young entrepreneurs is, as they are coming into the business field, this is a very good thing to know that we have a role to play in the society, and no matter which business we are in. And by holding hand together and building a community together, which is Vino and Vision is all about, building community all over the world. And right now we are in multiple states, and we are also in international locations. And this is an opportunity for us to help growing social concerns such as sex trafficking and victims of sex trafficking is another concern. So Zulma is contributing to that, and she's bringing in the global leadership role with Vino and Vision. And she's also bringing in all the coaches around the country and internationally. And she can partner with you and create a world that we can make it safer and better for everybody. Juliana, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think that was great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's definitely very needed as we see that here in St. Louis as well. Yeah, so I guess one last question is, how do people, I guess, who's maybe not local, how do they either get involved with your organization or one locally? You know, what suggestions do you have?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. So definitely email us at team@thenisiproject.org. And what we will do, if you say that you're interested in getting involved, we will connect you with our volunteer coordinator who will send you the application and let you know what those next steps are. We do advise just a simple human trafficking training for everyone, because we want people to have some level of knowledge, because we feel like then they feel more empowered in their abilities to contribute and to volunteer. So we do have an application and a short training that we have you do. And then once you've completed that, we have so many opportunities to get involved. In fact, most of our meetings are virtual just because we've learned through COVID that it saves a lot of time for everybody. Even our local meetings, a lot of times are still virtual. And so we have twice a month, we'll have a meeting with all of our volunteers to go over projects. We use Asana, so we assign out projects and different things that we're working on. And so we really have a great opportunity to engage people now more than ever who aren't local. And we're so thankful that we had the opportunity to learn how to do that, because it's serving to really expand our mission. We are looking to have kind of what we're calling mission ambassadors in different states, who are trained volunteers who just want to lead and duplicate NISSI's mission within their community. And so our first one will actually be Kelsey Hill in Wisconsin. She just moved there. She was here, but her family is military, and she's already hitting the ground running with fundraising and with sharing our mission. And so if you're interested in that, we can get you the training that needs to be done in order to do that, and to just carry the mission, because like I said, this is something that is everywhere, and can be really beneficial if we all come together and form that puzzle of services that is desperately needed.
Fantastic. Juliana, Zulma, do you have any last comment or anything you want to add, please?
I just want to thank Sara for her awesome work. I won't say hard, because we know that it can be challenging, but I do know for a fact that she really does love what she does. And when we do what we love, it's not work. And so thank you, Sara, for what you're doing for our local community. And I know that the impact will be global as well. And I look forward to continuing adding my grain of sand, and to also partner with the different tools that we have at our Mill Group and Vino and Vision, and contributions like Juliana, because she's a young entrepreneur, and she can take this into her community and encourage others to do the same. I think that what you've shared with us is very eye-opening. It reinforces what we may know about human trafficking, but it also creates awareness for the needs within organizations like NISSI. So for me, it's you'll see me, you won't get rid of me that easy. And I really love that with the vision, I have a bigger toolbox to contribute to.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's it for me.
Very well. Well, thank you very much for all of you to attend this broadcast. And we will be seeing Sara again in 2 weeks from now. So we will have more questions to ask, and see the role of young entrepreneurs, how they can play into this nice environment where we can not only do business, grow profitability, and at the same time, we can help social causes like what Sara is doing. So thank you, Sara, for all you do. And we are here to help you all the way and any way we can. And the partnership between Vino and Vision, Dharmil Group, and NISSI project is fabulous. And we will be discussing that in future session and see how we can help you and grow this not only nationally, but also internationally as we move. We don't have anybody in Wisconsin yet, but we are working on it. So we'll have a local presence in Wisconsin as well. And at that time, we can handhold together and help all the social causes that we can support. Juliana, thank you for doing this event once again. And thank you, everybody. Zulma, thanks for your participation as well. We'll see you in 2 weeks as well. So thank you very much and enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.